What is up, you guys? How's it going? Happy Monday. It's been a minute since I have done a Mindset Monday call, so I'm excited to be in here. I had envisioned myself getting outside for this call. I just got a fun little new tripod stand thing for pictures and videos and whatnot. But I'm literally like mid-lunch. I'm literally mid-lunch. And so I just want to do this call and finish my lunch instead of dealing with setting that tripod up. So I'm going to dive on in. Sabra, what's up, my girl? I don't know who else is on here, but there's one other person on here. If you could comment hashtag live squad so I can see you. I know who you are. I can talk to you. We can chat. We can hang out. Carolina, what is up, my love? Sabra, what is up? So today we're going to be talking about two things. And if that's all right with you guys, you ladies, you people, you humans, I am just going to dive on in today. Mostly because I have my lunch in front of me and I really want to eat it. So we're going to be talking about the 3 stages of learning. Live squad. And Lotte, what's up? What's up, girl? My hashtag live squad. Okay. So we're going to be talking about 2 things today. The concept of progressive overload, just briefly. And the 3 stages of learning, just briefly. Cool. So why I wanted to explain this is because I feel like I might have been, oh my, I think I might be recording myself right now. That's fun. Yes. Cancel. Pause. Resume. Cool. I was recording myself on Loom. So the reason I wanted to talk about this concept is because I felt like lately, not that my clients disagree with it or not that my clients don't follow through with it. I just feel like I've had to explain this a couple times this month. And so I figured that if I'm explaining it to my clients, that you all would benefit from hearing it. And if you are in need of support coming up with customized workout programs, please let me know, as well as support with nutrition, as well as support with mindset. It's a brand new month, so I have openings. I haven't decided how many clients I'm taking on yet this month, because I do like to keep my numbers with my clients relatively pretty low because I am offering highly customized, individualized support for my clients. But I do have spots open for this month. If you are interested and you need customized, individualized support for your health, let me know. But I wanted to share this with you all because if I've been repeating it to my clients, then it's going to be beneficial to all of you. So if you've ever done Beachbody workouts, Kayla Itzines workouts, if you've ever done the Sweat app, if you've ever done, let's see, what else is out there? Comment below. What else is out there? I don't even know. I know Kayla Itzines and Beachbody because they're pretty popular. But I know everybody and their mother has workout programs now that you can purchase online. So I wanted to share, like, why is it that you might be doing the same thing for a couple weeks, right? Because I know in like, like, let's just say Beachbody 21-day fix, you're doing the same workouts for 3 weeks. Or in Lift 4, you're doing the same movements for 8 weeks, whatever it is. Or in 80-day obsession, you're doing, what is it? I think it's like, it's 4 cycles. 3 of them are a month long and 1 of them is like a week long. But why is it that you're doing the same things over and over again within those workouts instead of having variety? That is because of programming, from a fitness programming perspective, like what goes on behind the scenes when you're putting together a fitness program. And now 2 things we want to consider are progressive overload and periodization. I could do a whole nother training on periodization, but periodization pretty much means like looking at where somebody is now. So Sabra is one of my clients. So I might look at where Sabra is right now and where she wants to be in a year from now. And so you can think of things in like a macro, meso, and micro cycle. You've probably heard those terms in other ways used. Give me a I'm following if you're following me so far. Let me know. Comment below. I am following if you are following. So we've got a macro approach, and that macro approach is saying, okay, right now Sabra's doing 3 CrossFits a week and 2 workouts that I'm creating for her a week. But where's the goal? Like, what is the goal? Why is that the goal? And how are we going to get her there safely, effectively, and efficiently, right? Like, or for example, taking somebody that has never worked out before and getting them to like where they say, cool, yeah, I might start with, Jackie, I feel comfortable to start with 2 workouts a week right now. And that does happen. I do have clients that that have never worked out before or that haven't worked out in years, and we start them at 2 times a week. But the goal is for them to lose 60 pounds and to be able to do it in a year. Let's just say that, right? So right now we're going to start them at 2 times a week. And the macro cycle is considering where we want to go, how fast do we want to go there, what's our timeline. Macro is a year long, maybe it's 6 months long. And then the mesocycle is breaking it into maybe someone wants to do a bulk and a cut and a bulk and a cut. Maybe somebody wants to do endurance training followed by like muscular endurance, followed by a cardiovascular endurance cycle, followed by a cut cycle, followed by a bulk cycle. So just considering what the client wants, and then breaking it into like, maybe it's 4 cycles, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 6. So that's defining it even smaller, and then defining it on an even smaller note. I said I wasn't going to dive into this, but now I am. That's that micro level. That is like, for example, that is the 5 weeks of workouts you're doing within a month, or that let's just say for simplicity's sake, you're doing a 4-week cycle. That's the microcycle that exists in a month. The month and month 2, those are the mesocycles. And then if you're doing it for 6 months, that's the macro cycle. So you want to take these things into consideration, because our progress and our programming and our calories and all of it is non-linear. Our rest days, it's non-linear. So it's not like we're going to progressively go from, squatting heavy, let's just say 5 by 5s, 5 rounds, 5 reps. And we expect to be able to progress, with a barbell back squat from 45 pounds to 50 pounds to 55 pounds to 60 pounds. Like, that's linear progression. Our journeys should not be linearly progressed. They should be variable. You should have months that are 15 reps for more endurance, where you're training maybe lighter. And then you have another month maybe where you're doing less reps and you're lifting heavier. Or you maybe, instead of doing that on a monthly basis, you want to do that on a weekly basis. So you just want to have some periodization to that. But why I'm explaining that is what breaks down a good fitness program. That is what breaks down. That's why Beachbody workouts or Kayla Itsines are in cycles, right? That's why, like, if you think about like 80-day obsession, it's like month 1, month 2, month 3, because it's different months. Like, it's different programming in those months. And you want to keep it that way so that you are having non-linear periodization that fills into your macro cycle, which is that big picture. And then one of the other major reasons that you want to have cycles is the 3 stages of learning. Does anybody here know what the 3 stages of learning are? Say, bruh, I don't know. I talked to this about someone the other day on their coaching call. Anybody know what the 3 stages of learning are? If you know, comment them below. It is not just in workouts, but so the three phases of learning are how you learn motor skills, how you learn to throw a baseball, how you learn to play volleyball, how you learn to back squat, how you learn to lift weights, how you learn to do running, right? I don't think we did this yet. That's okay. So the 3 stages of learning are how you learn motor skills. Yeah. And so how you learn your motor skills is obviously applied to what you're doing in the gym, because that is a motor skill. And so this is something that happens time and time and time again. But we, as fitness professionals, take the 3 stages of learning into consideration as we consider the duration of a cycle. Somebody who's never strength trained in their life might need a cycle like that micro cycle that is 6 weeks long. Maybe it needs to be 7 or 8 weeks long, because they're completely learning these motor skills for the first time. Whereas I can take someone that's more advanced in the gym, and they are going to be able to roll through, like you've been strength training for years, and you are going to be able to roll through these 3 stages of learning at a faster pace. So maybe you need 3 to 4 week cycles. It's also okay to have a cycle that's maybe 1 week long as kind of a recovery cycle, but considering different fitness levels are going to have different paths for your 3 stages of learning. So those 3 stages of learning are the cognitive, associative, and autonomous. So in the cognitive phase, this is why as I explain these, Kara, what's up? Liv, what's up? Thanks for hopping on. Alexis, what is up? Thanks for hopping on. Watch it from the beginning if you have interest. But so here we are, we're talking about the cognitive phase. And this is where you're going to start to understand, oh, that makes sense, Jackie. That makes sense why somebody who is more advanced fitness-wise might need just a cycle that's 3 to 4 weeks long, whereas somebody that is not so advanced fitness-wise might need a cognitive phase that might need a microcycle that is 6 to 8 weeks long. So the cognitive phase is where you have to really tune in. You have to use your brain. You have to use your consciousness. You have to use your focus. You have to really pay attention to that mind muscle. Actually, mind muscle never really goes away. But you can't really be distracted. You don't want to be talking to people. You really want to be like tuned in, especially so that you don't get injured or you don't hurt yourself or you don't, you forget to activate your core and you compress your back. Like in the cognitive phase, this is where you are zoned in. This shit is new for you, or maybe it's just something you haven't done in a while, or it's a new movement pattern. Maybe it's a new movement sequence. Maybe it's just a completely new style of training. Maybe you're learning plyometrics for the first time and you've never done plyometrics. So cognitive phase is where you are really tuning into what's up here and having to focus and think through what you're doing. So you can imagine now if someone is more advanced physically, fitness-wise, they only need, like if you put them under a barbell back squat and you're having them do 5x5s, but they have a history of doing 3x10s, it's going to be an easier, like that curve for that cognitive phase is going to be smaller because they're going to get it, they're going to be able to pack more weight on and they're just going to get it. Whereas if you've never put a barbell on your back, that's going to take months of work, months of learning, right? So as you go into the associative phase, which is the second cycle of learning, the associative phase is where you're starting to associate things with things. You're starting to say, oh, well, when I barbell back squat, I already know that I need to activate my core. I know that I need to breathe out at this point and breathe in at this point. I know that my lats need to be activated in this way, right? So you're starting to associate things with each other, and the mind-body awareness can fade a little bit, and you don't need as much thought. You don't need as much focus. You don't need as much precision to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. But, you know, as opposed to in cognitive phase where you might have a ton of mess ups, a ton of slip ups, you might need to ask questions, you might need to click for clarification, you might need somebody to watch your form. In the associative phase, that's still happening, but less frequently. So it might be, one in every, out of, 2 back squatting days a week, you might have one where it's kind of wobbling. Whatever the case might be, you're going to have less slip ups and things start to become more patterned. And when you go into the autonomous phase, right? It's on autopilot. And the autonomous phase, the third cycle of learning. And again, this is for every motor skill you've ever learned in your entire life. And maybe you've just gotten to the autonomous phase. Like autonomously, I can just eat this food and I don't have to think anything about it, right? So it's for any motor skill at all. But when you're in the autonomous phase, that's when you get there, fucking crush it, and that's when you're ready for your next cycle, right? So that's why you have differences in that microcycle, which also then again plays into your mesocycle, which plays into your macrocycle. So if the goal is to teach someone how to do plyometrics, you need to conquer the baselines, have them there for 4 or 5 weeks. You need to conquer some strength 4 or 5 weeks, and then maybe you're spending 8 weeks in a plyometric cycle, right? So the autonomous phase is where things are happening without as much thought. You know what's maybe you're following a strict lifting program. You know what's after bicep curls. You know what comes after back squats. You know, like, you don't have to think about it. You can listen to music. You can chat. You don't have to you don't have to tune in as much. You don't have to focus as much. Errors become much less frequent. And so what you want to do with your fitness cycles is pair that autonomous phase. I mean, even think about like endurance running. I know, Liv, you just hopped on. You're an endurance runner. So think about like if you're training for a marathon, a half marathon, the goal is 13 miles. And for your first month, you say, okay, I'm going to do 3 months or 3 miles. You're going to get to a point where you hit the autonomous phase, and that 3 miles is just like like you can go out and do it, and it's not a big process, right? So you want to take advantage of these cycles and play those into your microcycles. So you want to say, okay, I'm in my cognitive, I'm learning, I'm starting to hit the associative, I've hit the autonomous, I'm going to stay in the autonomous for 1 week, and then you need to scale your workouts. You need to progress your workouts. You need to progressively overload in a non-linear way. I know that's a lot. You need to progressive overload simply states that, and also considering the SAID principle. The SAID principle is the specific adaptations to imposed demands, right? So basically what SAID principle says is if you want to train for power, you got to train for power. If you want to train for muscular endurance, train for muscular endurance. If you want to train for cardiovascular endurance, train for cardiovascular endurance. So you have to bring the SAID principle, again, the specific adaptations of imposed demands, into your training cycle. Train for what you want to train for, cover your basics, and then you must consider progressive overload. This is why I cannot tell you how many times people have said, I'm not making progress in the gym. I'm like, cool. Tell me what your workout history is. Well, I do the elliptical. I do maybe 30 to 45 minutes on the elliptical, and then I do abs. And I'm like, cool, and how long have you been doing that? Oh, for about 2 years now. I'm like, well, no fucking shit, you're not moving forward in the gym. No fucking shit, you're not hitting PRs because you haven't changed what you're doing since you have cobwebs with your routine, right? So progressive overload means that you need to constantly be imposing a progressed demand on your body so that your body has to adapt to that demand. Who's with me? Who's following? Give me another. Who's following me? Sabra, Carolina, Lotte, Kara, Liv, Alexis. Who's following me? If your goal, for fuck's sake, is to run 13 miles, but you only ever run 3 miles, you're not going to run 13 miles. You're not going to get there. Well, you might get there, but you're going to be really freaking sore. If your goal is to hit PRs, with your bench press and you're not progressively overloading and periodizing and cycling your bench press work, you're not going to see progress in your bench press. So whatever you're trying, like, again, specific adaptations to the imposed demands, whatever the demand is that you're giving your body, that's what you're going to adapt to. So if you want to lift heavier, you got to fucking lift heavier. It's not rocket science. If you want to run longer, you got to run longer. But doing so in a way that is progressively overloading is so important. I cannot tell you how many women have said to me in my lifetime, hundreds and hundreds of women have said, I'm not seeing progress in my routine. This is what it is. Or no. Yeah, I'm not even going to underplay that. That's what people fucking say to me. That's what they say. And you're not going to move forward if you're not progressively overloading your workouts, if they're not cycled and systemized, if you're not taking advantage of this cognitive associative autonomous cycle. So I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, please pop them below right now. But these are the if you want to know how and why people program the way that they program, why Kayla Itzines, why the Sweat app, why Beachbody, why Couch to 5K, it's a zombie 5K, I don't know, Kara, what's it called? Why those things are the way that they are, it's because of these principles. It's because of the principle. It's because of the 3 cycles of learning. It's because of progressive overload. It's because of cycles, right? And periodization. So that macro, meso, micro cycles. It's because of the SAID principle. That's why fitness programmings are the way that they are. So unless anybody has any questions, I have 10 minutes to eat my lunch. I have a call at 2:30. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. And like I said at the beginning of the call, I do have new spots going into June for clients. If you are looking for customized one-on-one coaching support in fitness, nutrition, mindset, lifestyle, one or the other, all of the above, everything and more, let me know. We can have you apply for the Live Free Fitness Academy, Live Free Health Academy, or Live Free Nutrition Academy. And we will get you some support. All right. Peace, love, and gains. Talk to y'all soon.